Today's video is all about this Campark 4G PTZ wildlife camera. We'll go through what's in the box, the actual setup of it using the 4G card that's supplied, the install of it, and then just how it works basically. And we'll see some good video footage from this, I'm sure. Let's crack on. What's in the box then? Well, obviously we've got the PTZ camera itself. We've got the solar panel with a USB connection that will obviously go into the camera. Instruction leaflet. We've got the strap which will hold the bracket on. We've got a separate USB to USB charging cable for if we want to charge it without the solar panel. We've got a bracket that we can screw onto a tree or a fence post, anything like that. And then last but not least, we've actually got data card, the 4G card itself, and obviously a fixing pack as well. And a quick look at the camera itself and all the connections. So let's take the protective cover off first, because I always tend to leave that on. And if we have a look at the face, we've got the camera lens, the PIR, infrared lights. This is the light sensor, and this is an indicator light. And moving around to the controls and the inputs, that's the on button. And if we take this back, that's the USB-C connector, either for USB charging from a power point or for the solar panel. On the back, you've got a speaker for two-way communication. On either side, you've got antennas for the 4G card. And if we spin it back over onto the top, underneath the waterproof tab there, we've got, so that's where the 4G card goes there. This is where the micro USB card goes, and if I just take that out, you'll see it actually comes supplied with a 32 gigabyte card. Now I'm going to upgrade that to 128 gig. We'll just pop that back in for the time being. There's also a reset button there as well. Obviously got a battery inside it that's rechargeable. And now we need to get it all connected to the app. Right, so the first thing that we're going to do is download the app, and on Android, if you search for Yukon, and then we've got it there, Yukon by Maxwell Wang, click on that, install it. The other thing that you can do is also scan the QR code in the instruction manual. Alright, the app's downloaded and installed, so let's open it. Use agreement OK, allow it to send notifications. Right, I'm just going to register. Right, that's it, all registered and logged in. And the next thing to do is add the 4G card. Okay, so we've got the card out. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to double check that it's the nano card that goes in. Yes, it is. Okay, so we've got that, and we're just going to pop it into the 4G slot, and there's a symbol on there. We can see it just shows you which way to put it in, so it's that way. And we'll pop it in so you can hear it click. There we go, that's in. Let's close it back up. Right, back to the app. Right, let's add a device. So we're going to set the 4G up. So click on 4G.
Insert the SIM card.
It's already switched on, and you can see that the blue light is on. So we'll go to next.
LED will light up.
We'll scan the QR code. It's taken that.
Enter the camera name and address.
We'll call it the trail cam. We've got the location. So it's just setting up.
Camera
And that's it.
Successfully.
Installed. Before we go out into the trees and actually get it installed, let's go through what that installation process will entail. So we have numerous things. Now obviously in this instance the camera is going to hang up like that, and you've got a bracket to install it. Now this bracket has screw holes either in the back, or if you're installing it on a surface like that up there. If you're screwing it, once you've screwed it, you can see two channels on the back. Those channels take the bracket, and then you've got two screws on either side that secure it. That's if you're screwing it. If you're not screwing it, you'll still require this bracket, but we're going to use the strap. The strap's going to go into this, round the back and out of there, and then we're going to wrap it round the tree. again, once that's secured, you take the bracket, pop it on, and then just secure it with the 4 screws at the side. Everything comes supplied that you'll need. The next thing is we've got this bracket. When we take this out, what that's going to do is it's going to hold the solar panel. So we'll attach this to the tree, and then this to the bracket, and then this will obviously go into the, as you can see, there's probably about 6 foot of cable there, so it doesn't necessarily need to go right next to the camera itself. And if you're going to put it in a place where you're not going to get any solar energy, which could be a room or somewhere dark, then that's not a problem, because as I've already showed you, you've got a USB-C charging point on this, so you can just charge it separately. We'll take a walk in the wood now, find the ideal location for the camera and get it all fixed. Right, you can see we've got a trail coming through there, and this is an ideal area to record in and catch things. And if I turn around here, you can see that's my older trail cam, which I'll be removing today. So we'll get the strap first. This is the tree that we're going to put it on, by the way. So get the strap, get the bracket, feed the strap in one side and out of the other. And then once it's through, just pull through the slack, because we need to put it through this. So bring it up, round, feed it through. So this is where we want it, so I'm just going to pull it tight. And once it's nice and tight, just fold that over, lock it in place, and we've got a nice sturdy bracket. We'll tie this off so it doesn't blow around in the wind and scare anything. Right, we've got the bracket on. Now all we need to do is put that on and use the 4 screws just to secure it. And we'll just pop the last screw in now. We're going to put the bracket up now for the solar panel. We're just going to put that there. In the pack you get 3 screws. You also get 3 wall plugs as well, just in case you're putting it into concrete or brick. You need to make sure that you can see where the sun is when you're installing this, and the sun's up there in the afternoon. Right, that's nice and secure. Let's get the panel on, get it connected to the camera. That screws on, and you tighten it on the back. So we've tightened it. We need to put it at the angle so that it's right for the sun, and then we just tighten that. Now just connect this to the camera. We don't want cable dangling everywhere, so all I'm going to do is just take out 1, 2, 3. Right, that should be fine. So I'll tie that back up. So lots of cable. If you've got to run this out of a window or somewhere, you should have plenty of cable to be able to do that with. So we just need to take the waterproof flap off, get the USB-C cable, pop it inside until it clicks. That should make it a waterproof seal, so that's good. So all fitted, just a case now of turning it on. So the light's flashing, it's just going to connect to the 4G network, then we're good to go. With previous cameras, I've had some absolutely fantastic pictures. Some of the best ones that I got, I had some dead fish out of the pond, and I put them round here, and we had numerous foxes, badgers, we had all sorts. So I don't have any dead fish, unfortunately, but what I do have is some old fat. So I'm going to pop that around here, just sprinkle it liberally. And we'll also have got some corned beef as well that's gone out of date. So I'll just sprinkle that. That flies are out already. Right, some delicious food for the foxes and anything else. Now we're going to get deer as well, but obviously they're not going to be interested in this. Right, let's get the camera set up fully on the app and then see what we can get. You can see me standing there, so let's go through the app itself while we're here. Top left hand side you can see it says HD, so I've set it up in the settings to record all the time in HD as opposed to standard definition. If we look down at the bottom, that shows activations or user wake up recording. You can see the date just above. We're on the 11th of July, and below it, so it shows all the times and a thumbnail clip. If we come down, you can see it was triggered at 3:33, so if we click on that, you see that it's picked up a badger. To the left of the picture there's a download arrow. If you download that, it'll go to your gallery so you can view it at any time without having to use the network. In the middle, if you use the arrows, you can change it to days. So got yesterday, which was the 10th of July. You can go through the activations. Again, I think the badger is out. Let's just have a quick look at that. Yep, there's the badger. And again, you can change dates and go back as far as you want. You just go back to the start screen. So at the top there, if I had a number of devices, they'd all be listed on this screen. If you look at the top right hand side, you've got your settings button and your notification button. So if we click that, it'll turn notifications off if you want it to. If we go into settings on this front screen, you can just set up your cloud service, etc. Let's just go back. Right, click on the device. Okay, so this is a live picture. There's very, very little lag as we're looking at it. If we look underneath the main picture, on the left hand side, you can turn off and on the audio. Coming across to the right, you can take a snapshot. With the middle, you've got your mic, so you can do two-way communication. You can then take a video of whatever you're watching live. And the last one, if you click on that, it just switches between cloud recording or micro SD card. And then above the picture, you've just got your 4G signal strength, battery reserve, whether it's charging or not charging, the device that you're viewing. Going into the settings, that's top right, click on that. All right, lots of customization on here. So the first one is you can set up the device name. Again, useful if you've got a number of devices. When you set your device up, you may want to flip the image. So if we're going to that, it's normal. You can rotate it and rotate it. Lots of things to do there. Storage card. This shows you every time you format it what's on there. It doesn't show you when you go into it. This is a 256 gig card that's in there and it's working perfectly. Scene mode. You've got night mode or normal mode. Not too sure what that is because on normal mode it works perfectly at night. Going to activity detection, you've got low, medium and high. I've got it set on high and again it's working perfectly. The arming setting, that's for if you want it to work between certain hours. You may have this in a building, for example, where you don't want it triggering when there's people walking by it during working hours, but you might want it working outside of that, so that's where you have it armed. Device alarm. Well, if somebody steps in front of the PIR or something steps in front of the PIR, if the device alarm's on, it actually does a siren for a second. The record duration, that's the minimum recording time it'll do. It'll carry on going if there's somebody walking around in front of it, but that's the minimum. Power frequency, you've got 50 or 60 Hertz. LED indicator, well, that's what's on the front of the camera, and it's blue when it's triggered. Synchronization time, that's perfect that. You're not having to mess around, it automatically sets the time up on the camera because it's connected over the network. Not too sure what the retry time is, and then below that you've just got your model, firmware version, etc, etc. If you click on firmware update, it goes into it, tells you that it's up to date. Now that was up to date out of the box, that. Right, okay, so there I am. I'm just going to start moving around. Yeah, there's so little lag on this. Now in the bottom left hand side of the picture you can see you've got your controls, but if you click over on the bottom right hand side, this is the full screen view on the phone, and let's have a look at the camera moving. You can see it moving there, and it really is fast. We'll just pull it back a bit. And we'll go up and down. So you can see how easy it is to move there. Let's just switch to night mode because it's dark down there. Right, excellent. And one other thing, to the right hand side of the screen you can see a red circle. That's for your infrared, but if you click on it, it changes to a light bulb, and that basically means that at night time, if you want colour photography, you just click on that and it actually lights up with white light as opposed to infrared, so you get the colour picture. Right then, so in summary, what do I think of this trail cam? It's PTZ, which is the first one of those that I've had. It fits over all the other trail cams that I've had. It charges itself, so I don't need to worry about the batteries. I can view everything from home without having to come out and take the SD card out. Being able to arrange where it's looking at without having to come out and re-strap it by using the pan, tilt and zoom. All that's fantastic. Very quiet, takes excellent video and photographs. You can use it as a security camera if you want, you don't need to use it just as a trail cam. So yes, it's an absolute all-round winner. Let's have a look at some of the footage that it's taken.